Hi everyone. For today's video, I decided to answer a lot of people's question about concerning vaccine trial and vaccine safety. We all know the clinical trials are being conducted worldwide to establish these vaccines' safety and effectiveness. But the question that keeps coming up is it being tested on enough people? Is it being done correctly? Is it being done fast? Is it being done with any shortcuts? So I thought I'll clarify all your doubts and questions by bringing a trial volunteer for this interview. This volunteer is someone that I know really well and I trust a lot because this is my husband. This is Dr. Kaushik. He is 37 and he's a scientist as well. So we'll be here discussing his experiences participating in the phase 2 phase 3 clinical trial of one of the vaccines that is being tested right now in India and worldwide. Welcome Kaushik to this interview.
Thank you.
Kaushik, why did you decide to participate in this clinical trial?
That goes back a few years ago. I was doing my PhD in Arizona State and I was part of a research institute, and I had already participated in multiple clinical trials, safety trials, like blood group tests, lot of studies, immuno studies, many studies, even psychological studies, like a lot of studies, neuro studies, ortho studies. And so I'm very interested in studies, research, and I came across a newspaper article where they were inviting volunteers for this vaccine trial in Chennai. I said, okay, why not? Let me try this. So I called up the number, I emailed the address on it, and they called me back.
What happened when they called you back?
The first day, they did a few basic tests to see if I was a healthy volunteer. Of course, they don't want to do it on unhealthy people with any comorbidities. So they made sure that I was a healthy volunteer. The first criteria is the age, of course. They wanted 18 to 55. And they did a few other vital tests, temperature, SpO2, oxygen, heart rate, respiratory rate is one of the vitals that they checked for. And I was a healthy volunteer. And of course, the other main thing for this study was they did a COVID test, the swab test, nasal swab test, as well as an antibody test to make sure that I never had COVID before I took the vaccine. And the results came out negative.
Were you scared?
Actually, a lot of my friends asked me, why do you want to take the vaccine? What if it's not safe? Before I took the vaccine, it went through my mind, should I take this or not? But as a healthy volunteer, I was sure that, and I was in good hands. I knew I was going through proper channels, a proper study, proper committee with safety committee, ethical committee, everything was in hand. And it was done in the hospital, so the study was done in the hospital, so I was in good hands. So I knew that I don't need to be very scared. If anything would happen, I knew I was in good hands.
So do they tell you what all you will be going through during this trial period?
Yeah, they gave me a booklet, information booklet, which had all the answers to the questions that I had. What would be the different strategies, different stages, what I could expect as a side effect, what to do, the do's and don'ts. Everything was there in the booklet. Whom to contact in case of any extreme side effects. So there was all information was there in it.
So at some point, if you were uncomfortable continuing to be a part of the trial, would you still have had to continue?
Absolutely not. The participation is voluntary. I could withdraw anytime I wanted. Even after 1 minute, I could have said, no, I'm scared, I don't want to do this anymore. They would have been okay with it.
In every trial, a portion of the participants are given the actual vaccine, a portion of participants are given the dummy. Do you know whether you got the actual vaccine or the dummy?
Of course, I don't know. It's a double-blind study, technical term. I don't know what I got. The person who gave me the injection, they don't know what I got. But the person monitoring the whole study, they know what I got. So.
Did you get an injection or a nasal drop?
Injection. It was an injection. So first, like I said, they took me for the COVID test. It came out negative. A week later, they called me for the first injection. And then 28 days after the first injection, they gave me a second injection. And in the meantime, of course, they kept monitoring me throughout. They called me every day to see if there was any side effect. Actually, after they gave me the first injection, they made me stay for 45 minutes in the hospital, and they continuously checked my vitals, monitor temperature, breathing rate, all the, make sure that I was fine, and I was. And that's when they continued. And so then they called me back after 4 weeks, and then they gave me the second injection. And even during the second injection, they said, okay, please wait for 45 minutes. And then they kind of monitored me, and then I left the premises.
Kaushik, I've known you for so long, and I know you're allergic to a lot of things. You start sneezing at every new smell or something, anything new that happens around you, more likely or than not have an allergic reaction to it. Did you have any allergic reaction to this vaccine?
I didn't know what to expect. Honestly, you're getting something injected in your body, you don't know what to expect. So that was one thing they looked for, to see if there's any allergic reaction at the site of the injection. But there was no reaction, allergic or any types.
So what happened when they gave you the injection? Did you have any fever, cold, cough, body ache, anything?
Both times they gave me a prescription for paracetamol, and they said just look out for a fever. I don't think I got any fever, but I took the paracetamol just in case. There was I could feel the prick. Other than that, there was no pain, no nothing.
Okay. Kaushik, as a trial participant, how do you answer to the question, this vaccine is not being tested enough, there's not being enough trials being done around the world for this vaccine?
So I was not the first guy to take the vaccine. This study has already been done in other countries, and then it came to India. So there are many volunteers in India, many volunteers in Chennai. While I was there were a few more candidates getting tested. Again, we don't know who got what, but there was the scale of the study is large enough. And after this vaccine trial, and it's still not approved in India, so the approval for a vaccine is only if it's safe. So the safety, that's why they're doing this. The whole trial is to make sure that the vaccine is safe. The booklet that I was given to, in that it said about 1,600 people were selected for the screening trial in India itself, and that's just India. And so you have the whole world, multiple countries participating in this vaccine trial. So the safety will not be compromised. Only if it's safe, it will be given to the general public.
Kaushik, were you paid to take part in this vaccine trial?
The participation in this trial was completely voluntary. I was paid for conveyance. The to and fro charges were paid, but other than that, there was no benefit for this trial.
Kaushik, one question that I know everybody around us asked was, hey, you have a 2-year-old at home and you have a pregnant wife at home. Did you ever fear that you were going to risk bringing the virus back home? Because all this while you had been safe, your family had been safe, even though you had been going to work every day, you took all the precautions. But did you think that you were putting your family in any danger by maybe possibly bringing the virus home because of this vaccine?
Of course, there was all kind of fear in my mind, but there were counselors at the site, medical trained counselors, and they said that the vaccine doesn't have the virus, and there is no way I can get the COVID virus because of the vaccine. So I knew I was not going to bring the virus home.
Thank you, Kaushik, for answering all my questions. And what I want to tell everybody through this interview is, this is just one person's experience participating in one clinical trial. I'm not at all trying to say that this is what everybody's experience will be. When a vaccine is approved and it's ready to be given to the masses, different people will have different reactions. Some people might have more pain, some people might have less pain, some people might have a body ache, some people might have fever, some people might even get allergies that can be taken care of, because all these safety studies are being done on the trial participants. So when the vaccine is approved, please ensure you take it, whether it's 1 or 2 doses. Please, you be safe and keep your family safe. Thank you.